And I'm using the theory here of Howard and Strauss because it just makes sense to me. And in generational theory, they say you can imagine it goes in a 100-year cycle, and every 25 years there's what's called a turning point. And there's 4 turning points. The first turning point is an awakening, and children born, in a period of awakening are very rebellious in their nature, and their job is almost to destroy everything that's come before. All social norms are challenged. This is Generation X. This is the generation I belong to, born 1964 to 84, and they certainly do shake things up a bit. The generation that come after that have to deal with the sort of the aftermath that the Generation X have left behind them. This is where Generation Y came in. Their job was to make sense of the new order, and they were all about we versus I. Generation X were very individualistic, and Generation Y tend to be more about the team. Generation Y, the dates of Generation Y spread from all sorts of ones, but the ones I'm going for with here, because I think it seems to match up with what I'm seeing in the UK, is 1985-2001. Then the next turning point you've got is a crisis. This is where we are at the moment, no surprise there. Children after 2001 would belong to this generation Z, or Z if you're in America. And these generation build up the structure, so it was destroyed by Generation X. Gen Y made sense of the new order, and Generation Z build that order up and give it structure. This generation are more likely to rebel by behaving better. They're very traditionalist and very conformist. And then the next turning point we've got is a high, probably going to happen in 2023 if you look at how generational theory works. The last high was when the baby boomers were born, which some of you will still be obviously parents still, or still maybe have teenagers, 1946 to 1964, and they're very idealist in their nature, so they always reach for utopia and want to make the best of everything. When we look at the Screenagers, they're fitting into 2 distinct categories. We've got Generation Y and Generation Z. So if we look at the generational cycle, here you go, this might help. So we have a generation coming to destroy it, a generation then unravelling it and rebuilding it, and then you've got the next generation coming along to build it up and give it structure, and then in a high you've got that generation making it ideal. And when you look at this cycle, the green and the red piece at the bottom are actually the most traditional generations. They're the ones that really do, like I said, rebel by behaving better. Generation X are the real troublemakers in this whole cycle. And so when I started to look at this, it made no surprise to me that the research that was coming out was showing the youngsters that we're dealing with now have got very, very traditional values. In the book, Growing Up Digital, Dan Tafscott mentions what he calls the 8 next-gen norms. And these came from the massive research that he did. And these 8 gen norms are freedom, scrutiny, customization, integrity, collaboration, entertainment, innovation, and speed. So this is a generation that really, really value their freedom. They really want to innovate and create and customise everything that they do. Yet they've got quite a lot of integrity and expect it from others, probably more so than they have it, and they scrutinise everything. And of course, everything is quick and shiny, as the great Carol Phillips says. It's speed and it's entertainment. And in the next episode, we're really going to look at how this generation have changed the family, and then in the third episode we're going to look at how do you get through to them, how do you actually parent them. So I look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye bye.